Crochet. I am recording this on Wednesday evening, December 28th, 2022, coming to you from Vine, Illinois, across from St. Louis. And this is episode number 7, and this will be the last episode of 2022. First, let's get some admin things out of the way, like where you can find me. So apart from YouTube, you can find me at the.yarny.goodness.podcast on Instagram, and on Facebook it's the Yarny Goodness Podcast. So, and as always, if you like my special brand of crazy This Is Me, then please don't forget to subscribe, like the video below, and don't forget to ring the bell so that YouTube will let you know when I upload new content. So, all right, so what is off of the needles? I have a half finished object, which I have one of my Skein Deer Knits mittens from the Mystery Knit Along. I made these out of, oh, that went really yellow. It's really green, not yellow. I don't know why it went yellow like that. I apologize. So I made these out of knit crate yarn, which anybody who's watched my podcast knows I love my knit crate, and I am very, very sad that knit crate had to close its doors, so I won't be getting any more of my knit crate. But I made it out of the green. It's called Fatigue Green, and it's Vidaliana, and it's 100% Peruvian wool, if I remember correctly. There's that, and there's the name of it, because I can never pronounce it correctly. And that's the Fatigue Green, and the white is the same yarn in limestone, so it's just plain white. Not yellow, white. There we go. So that's this is just clue 1. That's all I have done on this one. I really worked on the other clues, got that one mitten done, so here's the second one. I'm knitting them, I knit them both. Well, I knit this one on my Chowagoos. It's a 4.0. The one that's finished was on my Knitter's Pride, still 4.0. I love my Chowagoos. Best, best, best. So, yeah, I'm going to start working on these soon. My goal was to have them done by Christmas, and of course that didn't happen, so now I'm hoping that maybe I can get them done maybe within the first week of January. But that's what's going to happen there, so I'm just going to have to fix that later. I've got yarn all over. So let me put those back in my, where I'm working at it right there. So there's that. The next thing I've got is my lily socks. In a previous episode, I talked about how my granddaughter wanted a new pair of socks, and so I quickly cast on a pair. I got them to about 1.5 inches before I started decreasing for the toe, and I had my other granddaughter try them on, and they were too small. So I had to rip those back. I put on a Snape's stocking, I think, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I do like the pattern, and I probably will be doing another in them, but I would have to modify it because it's for fingering, and I'm only knitting socks in DK, so there's a little bit of math playing in there, because I knit them up and they were too big. So I just pulled them back out, and I'm doing just a vanilla sock. These are still just a tiny bit too big. The girl is a twig. I mean, a toothpick. crazy how skinny this girl is. I don't know. So, and these are kind of loose on my leg, but I think she'll like them just the same. I'm thinking about maybe taking it back a little bit though and doing some decreasing in here so that it is not as big. But I want to say I cast on 48 stitches for the 2x2 rib, and then it's just a plain vanilla sock. There's nothing there. And of course it is knit crate yarn held together. These two greens. No, not those two greens. Those two greens. This one is a very, very bright, vivid green. This one is more. It's a bright green, but it's more of a muted, maybe heathered green. So that's that. That's the two of those. Again, I don't know the colorways because I lost the ball ends. So there's that, and then I have this, which is my leg warmers made out of knit crate. I've talked about them in previous episodes. I don't have a ball band with me. I do have ball bands, but I don't have them with me to be able to give them to you. But it's a 4-color fade. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a 4-color fade. It was a 4-color fade set. So it was 4 minis. So I did this one up to here where you can see it's not, it doesn't seem like it's that bright, drastic of a difference in real life, but I did the 2 lightest colors, and then I took the lightest color off, and I went to the next darkest, you know, the first dark color, and the darker of the 2 here, and you know how a fade works, right? So you know the first 2 were these, and that's really showing this one. This one's showing up real white, and it's not white. It is a blue. There we go. So those 2 together, and I got rid of the light one, and I took this one and this one. And then I'll drop that one and pick up this one and this one to end. And so I will probably do the same length. So, you know, however long, many inch stitches this is, do that up here, and then, you know, and have, so all 4 sections will be this big. So all of the markers are where I've increased in the purls. So all of the purls have been increased. It was a 2x2 rib, and now it's a 2x3 rib, so that it gets big to go around a calf. So I'll be liking those whenever I get them done. I'm hoping to have these objects that I'm talking about, these whips, done by the end of January. So that includes my mystery mitten, Lily's socks, those leg warmers, and fingers crossed, Chase's Douglas Cardi. So my son came to me and said, "Mom, I would like you to knit me a cardigan." And I said, "Ooh, cool, find me a pattern." And of course, I'm in the middle of a row. Find me a pattern that you would like me to do. Here, I'm just gonna, maybe, am I purling? Or am I knitting? Oh, sorry, I'm knitting, okay. I said, cool, find me a pattern that you would like me to do, and I'm going to knit these few stitches up. There's only a few here. Find me a pattern that you would like me to do, and we'll do it. So he found me this pattern, and it was all, I don't know if it was broken rib or what it was, but it was all ribbing all over the whole thing. And I didn't like the way that it was turning out. I don't know if I was doing it wrong. I did save it, so I'll go back to it. But I didn't know if I was doing it wrong or if I just didn't like the way that it was coming out. So I went to him and said, does it have to be that sweater? Or can it be a different sweater? We had already bought the yarn. So the yarn that I'm using, I'm the only one knitting on it, is the Karen 1 pound in a gray. It's, I can't read what it says. It's dark in here so that I wasn't too washed out. So I don't know which actual color it is. It's just regular gray. It's a very light gray. Not a very light gray, just light gray. But anyways. So this is the Douglas Cardi by Andrea Mowry. This is where one of the afterthought pockets is going to go. I planned it. It's not too much of an afterthought. Then here's where the other pocket goes, where the pink, where's the pink? There, where the pink is at. And then, so the last time, these are the sides, and this is where all my increases are at. The last time we were probably down here with this yellow marker right here. Last time I showed, and maybe the pink one, I don't know. We're somewhere in between there. The last time I showed it to you. So we are at the pockets. There's besides the ribbing, there's a good 8 inches there. There's probably close to a foot of material there. We're getting close. It's somewhere in here. So I still probably have at least that much to go before I split for the sleeves. So there's that. Again, that's the Andrea Mowry pattern. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump anything. That's the Andrea Mowry Douglas Cardi. So for cast-ons, I have decided that I want a 50/50 triangle wrap at some point next year. And I decided on the yarn for it, so it's probably going to be one of my 2023 cast-ons. Probably, I don't know, maybe I'll swift up some yarn and make it my New Year's Eve cast-on. This one will be, it is all garter, which means it's all knit stitch. You're knitting back and forth, every single row, which I can do like in a movie theater. I can do that in the dark. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have half of it be this very creamy, light caramel brown. It's called Jazz. Again, it's Knit Crate, and it is Udine Wool's Harmony. Let's see if I can read what it says that it is. It is 41% wool. There's some alpaca, some tinsel, and baby camel. Yeah, baby. Maybe that's the color it is. It's like a camel-y brown color. No, not that. That's close. I'm really loving it. Really loving it. I have 4 of those, so I need... So the 50/50 is supposed to be fingering. This is not fingering. This is worsted. So to make the size that she calls for, it's only supposed to be for the full thing, because it's 2. If you've never seen it, I'm going to post the picture here, and it's 1 triangle. It's a full square, and 1/2 of it, you know, square. For all of you geometry wizards out there, you cut a triangle from, or a rectangle square from a corner to a corner, and you get 2 triangles. That's what you have in this wrap. So it's the triangle shawl, the 50/50 triangle shawl. Get it? So half of it is going to be my brown. Then I think I'm going to do the other in, but yeah. So I'm going to do the 1/2 in a solid brown and do the other half. I like 2 rows of each color. I think maybe I'll just randomize it. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I've got 2 of each. Actually, I have more of this green. If I'm right, this is the conservatory colorway. Yes. And it is merino wool. And this is a DK weight, which is really close to a worsted. And then the brown, the blue is Cinderella. Now the blue is a superwash merino and Siri alpaca, and it's worsted. And the green, sorry guys, this is really disjointed of me tonight. Oh, it's 100% merino. So that's what I'm loving right there. So I found this. It's camisole number 8 by my favorite knits, my favorite something. I forget. Everybody knows who they are, but it's all those cables. It's like all over cable. They call it camisole. I call that a vest. I'm loving it. I'm all here for it. All here. And it's going to also be in conservatory. I believe. Because what I'm looking at is it's merino wool. It'll be something that'll be nice and warm. And the new segment is called Knowledge is Power. I'm an 80s kid, and that's a Schoolhouse Rock reference for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. What I also wanted to do was to give others my knowledge. I know I haven't shown a lot of crochet on here, but I did show my Christmas tree. My whole Christmas tree is all crocheted from the angel all the way down to, I do have a tree skirt. I haven't used the tree skirt in the past couple of years, but I do have one that I made. Every ornament on my tree was made by me. I'm looking at my tree behind me to remind me of what all is on there. Maybe I'll put a little bit of B-roll at the end to show different things that are on my tree that I've made. I've made the whole 12 Days of Christmas. There's Harry Potter on the tree. There's Ron. There's Hermione. There's a Dobby on my tree. If you've watched some of my episodes, there is an abominable snowman on my tree from Rudolph. Rudolph and Sam are on my tree. I mean, I tell people that I have 5 kids. I really have 6 because I have a husband. So most of those ornaments are things that he enjoys. And so I made ornaments and put them on the tree. So the knowledge is power, getting back to that, sorry, sidebar. The knowledge is power segment is going to be me teaching crochet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a podcast like this, and then I will have done a tutorial on single crocheting, how to single crochet, how to chain, how to double crochet, how to make a puff stitch, how to make all kinds of different things. And that's going to be in the Knowledge is Power segment of the podcast. So be watching for that in the start of the new year. Not in this episode, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. So if you are a crocheter and there's something that you've been looking for to learn how to make, drop something down in the comment section below and I'll see what I can do about getting that added to the list. Okay? All right. Now, on to some of my plans for 2020. Plans. I have a list of plans. I know there's 365 days in a year, so let's see how much of this I can get done. And I'm not saying that I'm going to get all of this done, and I'm not going to say that I'm only going to get this done, because there's going to be new and shiny stuff that comes along that I'm going to have to make. We're just throw that out there right now. There will be new and shiny, and Pam will have to make them. I also have a Ravelry queue where I've got probably 60 patterns in my queue of things that I want to make, things that I hope I get to make someday. But these are patterns that I've actually bought, or free patterns that I have found that I want to make. Some of the other ones that I do not think I have the yarn for is what I'm going to put in here, and I'm going to post pictures right here next to me of what they look like so that everybody can see them, and I'll try to remember to post some links down below. So I talked about my favorite camisole, excuse me. Another one that I want to make is my favorite sweater number 6, and I like the way that looks, and I think I'm going to love it. I don't know what yarn I'm going to use for it yet, so stay tuned. but I did buy it. So that's going to be one of the next ones that I figure out what yarn I want and get the yarn and get it cast on. The next thing I want is a rug sweater. I heard about it from Cozy Up Knits. Jamie from Cozy Up Knits was making it, so of course all of the sisters were making one. And I had to have the pattern, so I have the pattern. I don't remember any of the specs for it. I forgot to look up the specs. I forgot that it was on my list. I will still post a picture right here. And so that's something that I want to get on my sweater, my needles. I don't remember who it's for, so I will also put that on the page as well. Boy, editing Pam has got a lot to do. Another thing is the Ana, A-N-A sweater. It's by Manos del Uruguay Designs. I can't remember, but it's another one that I'm really enjoying. I'll put the picture in so that you guys can see what it looks like, and I don't have any yarn for it. Another one that I'm going to be casting on is another weekender. I have the gray one. I'm going to cast on another one, and it's in a marled, I can't remember the name of it. I got it at Michael's, and it's 100% wool, so that does narrow down because there's not a lot of 100% wool at Michael's. But I forgot to grab a skein of it to bring it out here with me, so there's that. But the Weekender by Andrea Mowry, I want to do another one of those. Another thing that I want to do is the Easy V Pullover by Caitlin Hunter. Another one I don't have the yarn for, but it's beautiful, and I want one. I want all the knits right now. I wish that I didn't have that job that got in the way of my knitting time. And then I also want to make. I have the Hermione's Everyday socks, so I want to get some Hermione's Everyday mitts to match my socks. And that is by Erica Luter. And you can find all of these on Ravelry. I'm almost positive. Maybe not the Ana, the A-N-A. You might have to just search that one. But again, I will try to put links down below. I want the Sunday Sweater by Petite Knit. That's another one that I want in my wardrobe. It's beautiful. So those are all the things that I would like to knit this coming year. Now, back to crocheting. As I was talking about, my husband, I love him to death, is a big kid. So there are some things every year after Christmas, I think about what I'm going to add to my Christmas tree ornaments for the following year. And this year, drum roll, I don't have a sound machine, so I can't add a drum roll. I'm putting Jack and Sally on the tree. So I'm going to make a Jack skeleton head and a Sally head, and they will be going on the tree this year. And then my husband is also a huge Peanuts fan. So Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Woodstock, those are his favorite characters, right? Last year in January, I had decided I was going to make him, it might have been in December, I was making him a set of Charlie Brown, Woodstock, and Snoopy pictures. And so I made them, and he took pictures of them, and he's on a Facebook page, and he shared the pictures on the Facebook page, and somebody from the Facebook page reached out to me and said, how much would you charge to make those for me? So I told her, and I commenced crocheting, and my husband says, Pam, just go ahead. I hadn't made the Woodstock for him yet. He said, just make the Woodstock and send her mine, and you can make me another set. I live with you. You can make me another one. I'll have another one in a couple of weeks, right? No, there were more shiny and pretty things. I forgot. He forgot. We all forgot. He reminded me when it showed up in his memories on Facebook. He's like, hey, where did those go? Did you make those again for me? No, bad wife. So, a Charlie Brown, a Snoopy, and a Woodstock will be being made this year, pretty soon, hopefully, for my husband. so he can put them on his shelf. He's got a bunch of collectibles up there, and so need to get that going. So those are my plans. That is not an all-inclusive list. I'm sure there will be more things added to the list. That's just a basic list of things that I really, 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 really want to get done. All right. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the make-alongs that I'm hoping to join this year, and some podcasts that I found. So there are some make-alongs that are going on. I know that was it today, yesterday, here soon on Young Folk Knits, they are starting the Bougie Sweatshirt knit along. So that is something that I'm going to be investigating with these sweaters that I want to knit. I mean, she's talked about it, but I don't remember all of the deets on it, so I'm going to have to get into that and look into that and figure out what needs to happen so that I can get in on joining that one. There's also the DRK, which is Andrea Mowry's, and Andrea Mowry, we'll just go with that, March to May. So it depends on what she does with that. Last year it was shawls. She usually picks like one category that she makes, and then that's what, you know, you can pick one of her patterns to knit it Weekender Kale, which was a year long. Like I said before, it started June 1st. I knit one Weekender that I still have to add into the Ravelry groups to the threads. And then I want to get that second one on. So that could be what I make for the Bougie Sweatshirt. And I can add it into both of them. Oh, I just had an epiphany. But those are the make-alongs, knit-alongs that I'm knowing about, that I could think of offhand that I want to join. That I have found here in the last few weeks are, there we go. I found this one yesterday, and I really loved her. She's Stitches and Starlight podcast, and her name is Tashi, and she lives in New York. And I really love her. She spins too, but I really loved her. She was really, I don't know, I just really liked the one episode that I watched, so I thought I would share with you guys another one that I just found. And then Tiny Human Knits. Her name is Laura, and she lives in Canada. I can't remember where she said in Canada. Edmonton? Edmonton sticks out. I mean, Canada's a huge place, and for Edmonton to really stick out, that's something big. I'm an American, so I don't know a lot of Canadian cities. I am from Michigan, so I know Toronto and Ontario. But that's it. I've been across the river. I've been to Canada. Lots of stories. Can't tell any of them. So, if you know me, you can contact me and I'll tell them to you, but I'm not going to put them on the internet. But that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the year. Please don't forget, if you like my special brand of crazy, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that YouTube will let you know when I upload new videos. All right? I will talk to you guys later.